Thanks for you guys being on this call. Fall has gone really well. Really like this team. We've just finished up a little 7-game series that I thought was maybe as productive as any fall scrimmages that we've had. I think with the COVID year that a lot of these all these kids got or can take if they want to. It created a roster that's really deep, even deeper than what we had ever had hoped for. And so we were able to have 2 very competitive teams and to be able to play these games and did them with umpires, did them with pretty nice crowds each week that we had them. Ran the scoreboard, did the PA, so it felt like a real game. They were in uniform. So from everything that I could tell, I just thought it was we got as much out of this as we could. We're tremendously deep. This is probably the best. This is not probably. This is the best team that we've had here. I told if you guys were here last year, thought last year was the best team talent-wise that we had. We were off to a great start, and then as you guys know, COVID hits and everything stops. So now having almost all these kids back and then adding these freshmen and a couple of transfers, just a lot of competition here, more than we've ever had. Maybe the toughest job as a coaching staff that we'll have here to figure out the right moves, the right personnel to be playing. But I think as a coach, that's what you work for. And so I'm just excited about what this team can do. We're going to play a top-notch schedule as long as everything stays on pace there, and have the ability to be a top 10 team again. So I'll take questions.
Yeah, let's open it up to questions.
Hey, Coach, if you could just kind of talk about Gabby Spring, and what you saw in her when you were recruiting her, and then, also just her coming back from injury and, how she fits in this season.
Yeah, Gabby's she's not actually back yet. She's throwing right now. She's not cleared yet, so I really can't comment. I don't have anything to comment on. We have 7 pitchers on this staff. She's the only one that hasn't thrown all fall. When I was recruiting Gabby when she was in high school, at that time she was the number 1, 2, or 3 player out there, and has really had a hard time. Regaining that. I think she's been hurt for a long time, tried to pitch through things, and just hasn't, in her mind, hasn't lived up to what she thought it was going to be. But she still has opportunity and time. But right now she's way behind the curve. She is healthy, so that's a good thing, throwing pain-free. So now it's just a matter of competing with these other 6 kids and seeing if we can get her back. So unfortunately, that's about as all the info that I have, just because she hasn't thrown yet.
Noah, if you've got a question, you can go.
Hey, Coach. So I was just wanting to see just overall generally how y'all's fall went, and also as well how you told those freshmen, hey, that maybe they thought they were going to have a bigger role on this team, but once they figured out that there were going to be some seniors coming back to COVID. So I just wanted you to go and how y'all's fall has been going as a whole, but also how you've been dealing with those seniors that might be taking playing time from some of those freshmen that we're expecting to play.
Yeah, we just kind of told everyone when we got back that just, hey, there's no guarantees. I love to play young kids. We always have played freshmen here. We've never shied away from playing them, even when there's some growing pains. And so, we've got basically 4 of them, and Avery Hobson, Scotland David, Caitlin Carwile, and Savannah Evans. And I wouldn't, if we were going to play today, none of them would be in the lineup right now. But they're probably making as much progress as anybody here. I think if you asked everybody around our program, the freshmen have been really good. Maybe as good as a freshman group that we've had here in a bit, as a group. Evans is really throwing good, maybe ahead of the schedule. Not sure what her future holds yet, as far as this year, just because we've got 3 really seasoned kids back. So we got to figure out how this works. Carwile is a pitcher hitter, really starting to kind of hit like I thought she could. Pitching has been a work in progress. We've changed so much, added some new pitches. So she's got a lot to learn there and a lot going there, but improving. Scotland David may be the one who's shown the most improvement. And she's fighting to play in our outfield. And then Avery Hobson, maybe one of the fastest kids that we've ever had here, along with Scotland. She's just she's a lot like Scotty. They're going to play. I just don't look at them as being starters just quite yet. But I would tell you that those kids are going to play. How much, I don't know yet. Then as far as the fall's been great. I mean, like I said in my opening, very competitive, very different than what we've been used to with COVID and the restrictions and wearing masks. And, we got off to a bad start. We had a couple positive tests, and then we had some contact tracing. And so we didn't get started when we wanted to. But once we got going, everything was really good. And we've kind of hit our stride and feel like we're in a pretty good spot. So it just becomes a matter of trying to find the best 10, 11, 12 kids that are going to get on to that field.
Do we have any more questions for Coach?
You guys had a pretty good lineup going. Do you guys think that you're going to be able to hit as well as you guys did at the end of last season?
I would think we should be better on paper. You got to go do it in games. We're going to play another great schedule, so we don't pack our schedule with teams that are lesser talented. We're packing our schedule with elite Division I teams, Power 5 teams. So on paper, we're better. What we do in games, we'll have to just wait and see. But, when you add a Reagan Wright from UTA behind the plate, I think she would be the starter as of right now if we had to start a game. She can run, she can hit. She holds about every offensive record at UTA, and she transfers here for last year. You added Jordan Doggett, who was hitting 330, 340 at Georgia last year when the year ended. You got Carly Petty, who is maybe the most improved player from last year, if you ask me. Just really finding her way, playing the way we knew she eventually would. Febri back, Pennington back. Kylie Naomi may be one of the best. She may be the best player in the country. I don't know that for a fact, but if I was going to start a team, she'd be my first pick. And then in the outfield, and Chelsea's off to a great fall. Cheyenne Factor's off to a great fall. Haley Busby hitting like we thought she would hit when she transferred in here. Michelle Richburg. This place is deep. So I think this lineup has a chance to be even better than last year.
So with everything coming back and how great of a season y'all had last year, is the College World Series the focus for this season as well?
Yes, I would say yes. I mean, we're not, I keep telling them that, I've been on a lot of amazing college softball teams as a coach or assistant coach or head coach. And this is as talented of any of those teams that I've ever been around. So it's in their shoes. It's in their hands. It's not in mine. And I just keep telling them that if that's what the goal is, and that's how we're going to coach you. And I feel like we've done that. But it is a College World Series team, without a doubt. There's not a lot of those teams across the country that can really wake up each day and go, this is a College World Series team. There may be a team or two that could sneak in, got hot at the right time, but I don't know that you would look at them and say, hey, they're as talented as anybody in the country. I'll match our talent with anyone. So with that being said, yes, it's a College World Series team.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, how do you feel about the top end of the rotation from last season?
Well, I mean, you got Carey back, who was an All-American from last year. Pitched as good as anybody that we've ever had here. Excuse me, guys. My allergies are killing me. Carey's had a really good fall ahead of last year. And so we feel very good about her. Kelly Maxwell, she had a tremendous fall. And so I kind of walked a little cautiously with her. But after watching her throw a no-hitter in her first career appearance, I was like, okay, I guess it's all real. So she had a great year, a great start to the year, and off to a great start in the fall again. She's had a little harder time kind of getting her stuff back, but she's got it back and going well. And then Logan, she's just steady Eddie, throws those off-speed pitches, real spinny. So they're the top end. They're the kids that I would say that right now are going to get the chance to get the most innings. But then you've got a Savannah Evans and a Maddie Boyd who are kind of fighting in that fourth role. To kind of see who will tie that down. And we'll just kind of see where that goes. But right now, that would be kind of your top 4 or 5.
Hey, Coach, so this fall, I was just seeing have there been any injuries at all?
We've been pretty healthy. The biggest thing that we've had is some quads. I think that just goes from these kids taking time off and kind of getting back into the softball portion of that. So we've been dealing with a few legs. Carey's been dealing with a little bit of a knee, getting that all squared away. But other than that, it's been pretty normal. You're just going to get banged up when these kids take 6 months off from this type of repetition and work. We knew that we were going to have some struggles, and we did. We've been able to work through those. The Doggett kid who's transferred in here, she's probably got the most lingering leg injury. So she's kind of at about an 80%. Pennington, for the first time in her year or her time here, she had a little bit of a quad as well. So we've just had a little nicks and that, little nicks and bruises, like that. But for the most part, we've been healthy.
Okay, awesome. So obviously the best way for practice can be playing in these expedition games, as y'all usually do with fall ball. But what way specifically has the team benefited, like knowing that they're not getting to play in the fall ball games?
Well, we benefited because we've opened these scrimmages up like normal games. We take pregame BP, we take a pregame meal. We're in uniform, which we've never done if we're just having a scrimmage. We're announcing, we're running the scoreboard. There's music. The atmosphere out here, 4 out of our 7 games was crazy. Like our first couple of games, the people in the outfield, the social and the people out there, they were going crazy, having a blast. So it felt like a game day. So I think our girls having that, knowing there's people in the stands, knowing that there's umpires, and and knowing that they're all fighting to do a play, we haven't had very much difficulty getting their attention. So I think we benefited a bunch out of that, and I think we'll do more of that as we go along.
We've got time for maybe one or two more questions. Anybody else? All right. Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you, everybody, for getting on. And I'll send this out here shortly.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.